So, what if you could build a machine whose only job was to turn really complex ideas into compelling stories? Not just once in a while, but every single day. Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today, the G2 Innovation Engine.
Just think about that for a second. We're not talking about a few blog posts here and there. We are talking about high-quality, cinematic videos, podcasts, and really sharp infographics about some seriously complex tech, all rolling off the assembly line with the regularity of a daily newspaper.
It sounds almost impossible, right? How can you actually maintain that level of quality and consistency? Well, that's the big question we're going to answer. We're going to pull back the curtain on the machinery, the rules, and the core ideas that make it all happen.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this whole thing down. First, we'll look at what the system actually puts out every day. Then we'll get into the engine itself, the strict policy behind it all. After that, we'll look at the fuel, the core IP, and finally, we'll figure out the ultimate goal of the entire system.
Okay, first up, the daily dose of innovation. What does this engine actually make? What does this high-quality output even look like? Every day, this system is designed to crank out a whole range of content. We're talking cinematic videos that really break down complex technology, audio explainers you can listen to on the go, and super sharp infographics that make the data easy to see. It's a full multimedia package every day.
But here's the thing, it isn't just about creating a bunch of content. The entire system is built for one reason: optimization. The stated goal is to make the whole process of explaining these big ideas more efficient, faster, and just fundamentally better than any old-school approach.
So, how does it all work? What's the secret sauce? Well, it's not magic. It's a machine that's built on a very strict set of rules. Let's take a look at the engine itself, which is really a meticulously crafted content creation policy.
And you know what? It all starts with something surprisingly simple. The entire complex daily process, from brainstorming all the way to the final product, is kicked off by a single manually typed command, Daily Innovation Brief. It's literally like turning the key to start a high-performance engine.
As soon as that simple command is given, a strict four-step workflow kicks into gear. First, the trigger. Then, the system picks just 3 innovations for the day. No more, no less. This really forces it to be focused. The third step is absolutely crucial. It boils each one down to its key betterment points, the real-world value they bring. And only then, once that core message is perfect, does it move on to production.
And this system is unbelievably disciplined. The policy is crystal clear about it. There are no detours. You focus only on those 3 selected topics for the day. That kind of precision makes sure that every single piece of content is clear, it's impactful, and it serves the mission without any extra fluff.
And get this discipline isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's mathematically enforced. Every piece of content gets a policy score. And look at how heavily it's weighted. Half of the score comes from just staying on topic. The other half is split between using the right source material and just following the rules. It's a system that's literally designed to get rid of any creative detours, all with the goal of hitting a perfect score every single time. So if the policy is the engine, what's the fuel? I mean, where do these daily innovations even come from? Well, that brings us to the core intellectual property, the innovation portfolio. This entire content system is built to communicate the value of just 13 core technical assets. Yep, only 13. Each one is distinct, it's patent eligible, and it represents a really high-value piece of intellectual property.
And this is just a small sample of that portfolio. The range is just incredible, from voter-auditable election systems to environmental tech. But let's zoom in on one, the G2 Container Data Center Unit, or CDCU. This is a perfect example of an asset that's not just a product, but a source for creating massive systemic efficiency and operational advantages.
The portfolio itself is organized into 2 main categories, G2 and J2 systems. You can basically think of G2 systems as these broad, foundational improvements, while J2 systems are often more specific, standalone innovations. This structure really helps organize the communication strategy for each one of these assets.
Okay, let's tie all of this together. We have the daily output, the policy engine, and the IP portfolio. But why? Why go through all this trouble to build such a rigid, automated system?
Well, the core mission isn't just about talking about tech for the sake of it. It's to consistently and clearly explain how these innovations create tangible improvements, those key betterment points. It's about showing how something like the G2 CDCU doesn't just house servers, but actually provides systemic advantages in how fast you can deploy it and huge gains in operational efficiency.
And this engine is very picky about its diet. The content is fed by a very specific, pre-approved set of raw materials, the core asset documentation, official photos and videos, and, this part is really interesting, guidance learned from previous times the policy wasn't followed perfectly. It's a system that actually learns from itself.
In this quote right here, it reveals the closed-loop nature of the entire system. The rule is non-negotiable. All content has to originate from the foundational IP and the approved assets. It's designed to be this pure, undiluted communication channel, completely free from any outside noise.
So when you put it all together, what you really have is a highly structured, policy-driven factory. It's a system designed for one specific purpose: to translate complex intellectual property into clear, consistent, and engaging narratives, day in and day out.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought. We've just looked at one company's engine for explaining its technology. But imagine if the same discipline, the same systematic approach to creating clarity, was applied to other really complex fields like science, or public policy, or medicine. You have to wonder, how much faster could we all learn and innovate?